Does your job require some sort of public speaking? If the answer is yes, your ability to engage your audience will make or break your presentation. Which means if you put your audience to sleep, you're not going to be able to get your message across. And in this video, I'm going to go through 3 different tools that you need in every single speech to make sure you engage your audience and they don't go to sleep. And once you can utilize these tools and include them in your presentation, you'll be able to get your message across. So let's get into the first one. The first one is the audience. Now, it's not about you. You might think they're there to listen to you, but they're not. They are there to listen to you so you can solve their problems. If you can solve their problems, then they will like you. And the way that you will craft a good presentation is by first understanding what unites the audience together. And the way that you can double this down is by including stories about you, but they're messages for the audience. Because you're using your learnings, your perspective, your experience to benefit them. And that is how you will make it all about the audience. So before you even think about the planning, make sure you get this down. And if you want a few more questions to help you with this process before you even start your speech, I'm going to go get it now. This poster will help you with that. I've got some more questions on here to help you with the audience section. The thing that you need to consider before you start planning the speech. And once you can tick that one off, that is the first step to not boring your audience. Now let's get into the second step. If you want this poster, it is the first link below. Going on to tool number 2, and the tool is don't be normal. You might think, don't be normal, but let me explain. Each one of these squares, or my attempt of some squares, is to represent other speeches that have happened in your workplace. So you've got A, B, C, D, E, F, and so forth. Now, when you're looking at this, there's probably 2 things that stand out. It's this one right here and this one right here. The reason they stand out, they're the black sheeps of presentation. They were different. They weren't normal. All these green ones right here, they just do what everyone else does. They're not different. They don't go against the grain. And as soon as you realize that being abnormal will help you stand out, that is when you will engage your audience and they will actually want to listen on, and you won't put them to sleep. Because you think, right back to school, you don't remember the good kids. You remember all the naughty kids there. And the reason that you remember the naughty kids is because they wouldn't do the norm. They would do the abnormal. They would go against the grain. Some examples of going against the grain is by bringing a physical hook. If you bring a physical hook out into your speech, your presentation, your meeting, whatever it is that no one else has brought out, you are now abnormal. You are different. For example, Dr. Jill. Dr. Jill brought out a human brain. Like I've never seen anyone bring out a human brain before in my life. Darren Tay, he did a speech at Toastmasters. And when he got on stage, he got these pants and he brought them over his trousers. He hadn't said a single word. And just because he did that, something that was against the grain, I remembered that speech. And I was engaged to watch the whole video. Because sometimes I'd go on YouTube and I'd put the speech on, and within a minute I'm thinking, nah, I'm not watching that, it's boring. Not watching that, it's boring. But when they do something different, it forces me to watch on. And when you can do something different about your speech at work, that is when your colleagues or anyone that is listening to you will listen on. Because they'll be thinking, oh, what's happening here? Oh, I've not seen this before. Like Jenny over here is going to be thinking, what is that? Like, for example, you might not, you're probably not going to be speaking about hockey, but if you're speaking about hockey, you could actually bring a physical hockey stick into the presentation, because people aren't really going to bring a hockey stick into a presentation, and that is why you need to do it. So anytime you're speaking, just think, how can I supplement what I'm saying right now with some sort of physical hook? Because once you can create a physical hook, people will remember that hook. That will be the source. And when they remember the hook, the physical hook that you brought out, they will start to remember your speech. And then people will talk about your speech, your presentation in years to come. And once you tick off that from the toolbox, you are one step closer to not boring your audience and putting them to sleep. And like I said, if you want to have a blueprint on making a presentation, especially an influential presentation, check out the link below. I will send you this poster, and I'll also send you 11 days of emails to supplement that, to guide you in the creative process. Now let's go on to the last tool that you can utilize. Now the third and final one is emotions. Now when I was in primary school, I used to get bullied. There was this dude called Rory, and every single day he'd come in and make fun of me. And I am 25 right now, so that's 16 years ago. Over 16 cycles of the calendar year, I still remember how Rory made me feel, but I do not remember what he said. And that's why in your speeches, you need to create some sort of emotion. And the way that you're going to do that with your presentations is by including stories. Because the whole purpose of a story is to create some sort of emotion. It could be a happy emotion, it could be a surprise emotion, it could be an angry emotion, because people will attach the emotion. Because when you make any sort of decision, you know when you're walking through the supermarket and you see the cookies, you know, the chocolate chip ones, and you're thinking, oh, I'm on a diet, I can't eat them. But then emotion just takes over, because you know how much you enjoy eating those cookies. So you just pick them up and put them in the basket. And as they are in the basket, logic then takes over. Because you're going to be walking with this basket and you'll be thinking, well, I've done an extra 5 kilometers today, so I've burnt another 300 calories, so I actually deserve these cookies. Even though you know you shouldn't have them. Because that's the thing. Humans make decisions with their emotions, but they then back it up with logic to make themselves feel better. Now with your speeches, you can do the same thing. The emotions is the stories, the logic is the facts. Instead of just stating 10 facts within your presentation, instead create the emotion, because number one, they will remember that emotion, and then number two, you can back it up with logic by using facts. Now, that is the third and final tool that you can utilize to stop your audience from going to sleep. We have the audience, making it all about them. We have don't be normal, doing something against the grain, and in particular, getting some sort of physical hook, like I got a hockey stick, or Dr. Jill got a human brain, or Darren Tay got his pants. The third and final one is all about emotions, using stories to tell your message and having facts to back it up. So you're using emotion, then logic. But if you want a full-on structure to help you with your presentation process, check out the first link below. I will email this poster across to you completely free. And also the 11 emails as well. What was my last YouTube? And even though these 3 tools are essential to making sure your audience doesn't go to sleep, if you want to inspire or persuade them, you're going to need the Dials formula. Delivery, improv, auditory language, and storytelling. And if you want to learn about that in more detail, you should probably watch this video. Anyway, that's me. See you later on.